Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm taking a look at the 4th Doctor Regenerated and TARDIS set, which originally came out in B&M for 1999. And yeah, I mean, a little bit of a disclaimer and a little side note, I ended up having to get it off eBay for like 30-40 quid because there was none of them near where I live, and we did try like 3-4 different B&M sets, or B&M stores even. So yeah, that was fun, not. Firstly, I'll go over the figure, the action figure, then the sort of diorama set, and then the TARDIS. Also, if you're a long time viewer of mine, and that, you will know that normally I do these action figure reviews over by that general area and or corner of said bedroom, and that with on the 10th Doctor TARDIS interior usually, but then this diorama is so huge I couldn't actually fit that plus all this in that general area, so I'm having to just make do with here. So sorry about that if you like consistency. And also sorry about the fact that this is a very late review in contrast to that of Host Productions, It's Creeper, Pertwee Smith 11 and Vote Saxon 07. They've all reviewed this by now, so yeah, if you want to be the last person, or if you want to watch the last person probably review this, then feel free to watch my review of this. But yeah, so yeah, firstly the figure, I'm going to compare it to my other figure, this other figure that I did actually end up getting a couple months before this set got announced, which, as you can imagine, is kind of annoying. I got this one off eBay for like £18 for just the figure. Now, bearing in mind the history of this figure is that originally it was exclusive, fun fact, to the 4th Doctor time capsule set. So for the longest time, as I say, this action figure was quite a rare and hot commodity. Then I think they released it separately later down the line on a whim, for no apparent reason. I don't know why they released it on its own, and that one might actually fetch for quite a bit as well. And so your best chance of getting this actual action figure, the 4th Doctor in John Pertwee's attire, is probably this set. Now, the noticeable differences between this figure, the one that I bought off eBay, and then this one that I got with the TARDIS, and that figure off eBay as well, is that this one came with its the 3rd Doctor sonic screwdriver, this one doesn't. Also the fact that this one has more of a probably solemn expression, I would say, and that the eyes are probably better on that one, on the one with the TARDIS set. However, if you didn't already notice, I think that this one's a lot more sort of orangey, paler, like sort of textured and that. Oop, he's fallen down. And that, so basically I'm saying like one of them, this one is a lot more sort of white and almost looks pasty in that. Also the shirt on this one's a lot darker as well. So generally this one's just a darker sort of coloured figure and that. I've only just noticed, but this one has a ring on the finger, whereas this one doesn't. This one seems to, it's still there, but this one seems to have been painted over with the sort of hand paint colour, which is a bit odd really, considering that I don't actually know if obviously Tom's supposed to have a ring on his finger at that point. Also the sideburns are a big thing. I know Vote Saxon 07 made a point that the sideburns are very orange, and that on this Tom, which came with the TARDIS, whereas the one that I bought singly is very much more sort of brown, dark brownish, which I prefer, as well as the hair sculpt being a lot more sort of just sort of solid matte black. Well, not matte black, but matte brown and that, whereas this seems to be a lot more sort of like they've washed like the colour like black and that. It's weird and that, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, in terms of articulation, it's standard of fare and that. And I know both, I think it was Ace Creeper and Vote Saxon 07 both said that their figures had quite loose limbs and or like sort of body parts of sorts, like knees and, well, not knees, but like you know, the arms were quite sort of flimsy and that, whereas mine's actually quite fine and that. And also I think the eyes on this one are a lot better. They look better, they have a better sort of blue sort of eyes and that, whereas the eyes on that one are very smaller, and as I say, looks a lot more solemn and a lot more sort of yeah, like dead basically, whereas this one looks a bit more alive. But then again, I honestly think the likeness there is better than on this one. So yeah, that's the figures. I'll move on to the diorama. The set. Try and find a place to move the TARDIS. So the diorama is really nice of Unit HQ. I would keep it, but for the fact that I just don't have any space for it, which is just very annoying to say the least, as there are a bookshelf and that with a photo framed picture, photo and a frame of Jumper Tweet and Unit and that, which is just awesome, as well as like the Whomobile TARDIS thingy, like sort of blueprints, as well as like a poster for Wang Chiang and that magician-y thing, and just some different bits and pieces on there and that. And there's even like a little place where it's like, you know, sort of weathered there, so you know where to put the TARDIS specifically and that. And then you've got the unit doors, you've got the windows and that, and it just looks really nice. It sort of really does represent that sort of little you know, the end and beginning of the end of Planet of the Spiders and beginning of Robots. So yeah, so that's the diorama. Really nice, really good just backdrop and really good set if you want somewhere to display your TARDIS and Doctor and you don't have anywhere else to display them, then I'd recommend keeping this. But yeah, just chuck that down there for now. I'm going to do a bit of a comparison with the only other TARDIS that I do have in the action figure range, which is the 10th Doctor one, or 9th and or 10th Doctor TARDIS one. So yeah, obviously this one's quite a bit shorter, as well as the lamp being quite different as well. Much like the Saxon 07's one that he got, the top lantern is very sort of grey, and that, I mean, to be fair, you could just paint that blue, so if it bothers you or all. Also, I don't know if that's actually screen accurate though, the grey. It might be actually quite screen accurate. It's maybe not until later designs that they actually painted it blue. As well, you've got the sort of little sort of thing there as well, like bit risen up bit, and then the bulb sort of thing as well. I noticed that the I did check, I Google imaged the 4th Doctor TARDIS, and it is wrong that it should be white on black and not like this one. However, this one does actually kind of look a bit nicer in contrast to that one. You've got the smaller, way smaller windows, and then the black board with the sort of police telephone box thing, and the doors do open, and that, and then and that, so you could put one of the figures in there, and that, as such, even, and that, you know, having clearing out of the TARDIS, and then yeah, there's this sort of weathered texture sort of effect to make it look like wood, but it's alright. I mean, that one doesn't even look as wooden, I guess, actually, and that, the sort of David Tennant-y one, and that the only annoying thing is that because they've taken this sort of mould based off the 3rd and or 4th Doctor TARDIS, the older 4th Doctor one that came out back in like 2012, 2011, which had speakers. Now this one also has speakers and that, as well as this like panel and that on the back, so that's kind of annoying. Granted though, the one plus side is that it's at least on the back, so most of us will be displaying as TARDIS front side anyway, so, you know, as long as you're displaying it that way and not that way for some weird reason, then you shouldn't even really notice that. Also, I don't know why, but that door is very flimsy and not as sort of secure, which really does irk me quite a bit. But if you open both the doors, you'll see that there's the battery compartment-y thing there as well, which is kind of annoying. I mean, granted, you could put some card there maybe as well and paint that black, and that the card maybe. I don't know. But yeah, you've got all this sort of wood grain texture as well, and that on all the different sides, as well as this really nice sort of effect of sort of glass, sort of sheen, I guess. I don't know, like bubbling effect, like, and that. So yeah, it's a good set. I think if you don't own this figure or any previous TARDIS like this one, or any of the classic series TARDISes like I don't or hadn't prior to buying this, then it's obviously worth the money. It's worth $19.99. It's just very annoying that obviously there aren't that many out there, and it's exclusive to B&M, which means that scalpers fuck those people, because yeah, it's very annoying. You know, as I say, I did pay like anywhere between 30 and 40 quid for it. Do I think it's worth that? I mean, if you've never got a classic series TARDIS and you really want one like I do, then yeah, sure. But if you have already got classic Doctor Who TARDISes, exterior TARDISes, then maybe miss. But if you can find it for 20 quid and or 19.99, then yeah, definitely. I think the figure's okay. I'm just kind of glad that I bought the figure separately, honestly, because that other one that I've got, this one that I've got, I actually think is kind of better out of the two, and that. And yeah, I think it's a good exterior TARDIS, and I like the Fourth Doctor exterior TARDIS. I don't know why, I just do. But yeah, probably because I've seen it the most in the classic series, because Tom is my favourite Doctor. So yeah, I'd give this set, you know, a well-earned sort of, I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10, but like, you know, 8, 9 out of 10. I think, as I say, if you're new to action figure collecting, in terms of the Doctor Who ones, then it's a must-have, and if you're a huge Doctor Who fan, or huge classic series Doctor Who fan in particular, then it's a no-brainer, really. So yeah, it's a highly recommended sort of purchase from me. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.